another animal. Joe Rogan is a cannibal. Everyone must run for their life. Joe Rogan is a cannibal. To him, human is just another animal. Joe Rogan is a cannibal. Everyone must run for their life.
What's up, everybody? Whoa. Let me turn this down a little more. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Pink Trip Show. It's been a while. Well, actually, I did one a couple days ago. It hasn't been that long, but it's been a while for this format by myself. So this is going to be fun. Got to get my by myself live stream chops. Got to get those back up. Got to get comfortable doing this again. What's up, everybody? Holy shit. Let's see. Comes out of 10. Somebody's always complaining, dude. Sorry for being making you wait 3 minutes, Valhalla. Chris Turner. Yeah, Chris Turner complaining about 3 minutes. Yeah, everybody complains, Chris. That's what I've noticed. There's no way around it. Savvy Drifter, Liquid Sunshine. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Glad you guys showed up because, yeah, this has been a fun. Last month was really fun. It was a blast. And this month, I'm going to be getting back to doing live streams again. I was just focusing on supercuts last month because of all the complaining from people about not enough supercuts. So I spent a month doing as many supercuts as I could, which was 3 of them. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but that was basically what I did all month, was just to do 3 supercuts. So hopefully you guys have seen those because the algorithm, it loves me. Everybody knows how much the algorithm loves me, and you might not have had it put in front of you. But yeah. In case you're one of those people that likes the supercuts, go to my channel. Look for them. There's a bunch of new ones. So I don't know how many of you guys saw the Bono interview with Rogan. It was what I expected from Bono. I expected him to come in and talk about USAID and talk about all this bullshit. So apparently, according to Bono, we'll play this video here, but apparently 300,000 people have died already from the cuts of USAID. So it's hard to figure out if that's anywhere close to a legitimate number. There's you can read on both sides of it, but let's see what Bono has to say. Let's start off with this, and then we're going to get to a little bit of a detail about Bono's charity and how much actually goes to real people and how much goes to salary. You know, a lot of these charities, man, they are just fucking scams. Like, they'll get $100 million and they'll give 1 million to charity, and the rest of the 99 million goes to the people working for the fucking charity. And it's like, yeah, there's got to be a better way to do it than this. This seems like a fucking grift. And Bono's got one of those grifts going on. We're going to dive deep into that. We're also going to talk about Elon turning on the big beautiful bill, which I think is a big beautiful disaster. You know, this was kind of what I expected to happen. It's like you hope for some amazing things and you get 0, right? So we're going to go over the big beautiful bill. I don't know if anybody's done that, but we're going to go into detail with the big beautiful bill. We're going to look at all the fucking items that are in there, what we're spending on, the tax cuts that are just bullshit. I mean, I'm going to turn anti-Trump, basically. I think I'm already ready. And honestly, I'm not even that mad at Trump because I don't think Trump can do much. I think Trump's kind of fucked. I think Trump cares more about his legacy now than he really does about doing anything. And probably because he can't do anything. It's a swamp, you know, like they say all the time, you know, you either drain the swamp or the swamp drains you, and most of the time the swamp will drain you. And yeah, I'm black-pilled again. But let's get to this. Let me get to the Bono clip. We'll start off with the Bono bullshit. I'm a little rusty. It's been a while. Let's go with this one. Nope, not that one. Let's go with this one. There we go. All right.
Just recent.
What's up? Welcome, everybody. Oh, yeah. Unstoppable gifted a membership. Lidford, welcome. It's always nice when Unstoppable gifts a membership and it actually goes to like a regular viewer and not just some random person. So that's nice. Welcome to the team again, Litford. Thanks for the membership
proven,
gift.
but there's surveillance enough suggests 300,000 people have already died from just this cut off, this hard cut of USAID. So there's food rotting in boats, in warehouses. There is this will fuck you off. You will not be happy. No American will. But there is, I think it's 50,000 tons of food that are stored in Djibouti, South Africa, Dubai, and wait for it, Houston, Texas. And that is rotting rather than going to Gaza, rather than going to Sudan, because the people who know the codes or for the warehouse are fired. They're gone. And so this, I don't know,
Okay. I'm going to have to look this up. So there's apparently all this food that's supposed to go to Africa that's just sitting there rotting away. Seems like a big fucking waste to me, but okay, I don't know how much I believe it. I'm going to have to look that up.
What do you think? What is that? That's not America, is it?
Well, they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
Right. This is the problem. The problem is, for sure, there have been a lot of organizations that do tremendous good all throughout the world. Also, for sure, it was a money laundering operation. For sure, there was no oversight. For sure, billions of dollars are missing. In fact, trillions that are unaccounted for, that were sent off into various, they don't even know where because there's no receipts. The way Elon Musk described it, he said if any of this was done by a public company, the company would be delisted and the executives would be in prison. But in the United States, this is standard. When Biden left office, when it was clear that Trump won in the 73 days, they spent $93 billion from the Department of Energy on just radical loans, just throwing money into places.
Right.
And there's no oversight, no receipts. Like the whole thing is, there's a lot of fraud, a lot of money laundering.
So that's the big problem. You know, of course, among all the fraud and money laundering, there's probably some actual help being done. Again, it's like 1% of the money is actually going to help people. Yeah, according to Yahoo, millions of dollars worth of American food rots at ports amid USAID shutdown. Millions of dollars worth of American food is rotting at ports, warehouses amid Donald Trump's freeze of foreign aid, according to a U.S. government source, I guess. Some $489 million in food being stored around the world is going to waste because of paralysis at the U.S. International Development Agency. So basically, they're saying, okay, well, I mean, that sucks, but there is going to be some like ugly shit when you just cut off all this funding. Like, of course, there's going to be shit like this happening, but at the end of the day, I'm all for cutting all this funding. Like, it sucks that Africa is in the situation it is, but like, why don't again, I'm not an expert on Africa and all that shit, but like, isn't there a way that we could help them without it being permanent? Like building wells. Why don't we just give them the equipment to build wells? And we're like, okay, Africa, here's all the equipment you need to build wells. We'll send you a guy to train you how to build wells. And that's it. We're done. Okay. And in a year, if you come back and you can't build wells, that's your fucking problem. Right? Give them like give them the rod to fish. Don't fish for them. And if they still can't figure it out, then what the fuck? What the fuck? Sometimes you have to learn the hard way. I don't know. But yeah, okay, that's sad. That sucks. But 300,000 people, I don't know. It seems like it's, according to Grok, it's a disputed number. Nobody really knows. It seems like exactly what you would do if you're on the pro-government aid side. You would be like, look at all the disasters that are now happening because we're not fucking sending money, right? Like, so I expected this, and it's just like, what's true, what's not. That's always the hardest part with this shit, is getting through, like, what is a legitimate fucking thing and what is just propaganda. It's too fucking hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. But let's see what Alex Jones thinks. And yeah, we're gonna dive a little deeper, but let's just let Alex Jones talk about
Bono tried to go on Joe Rogan's podcast and say that Elon Musk and Trump have killed 300,000 people cutting USAID money. Total lie. He's the one, famously, that steals 99%.
Midwest request with the $2. Do it, man. Do it, man. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm doing it, bro. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support.
of the charity money, over $8 billion, he's raised to feed starving Africans. He is a master criminal, and his lies have completely blown up in his face. And I guarantee he flew into Austin to be on Joe's podcast last week with USAID money and stolen charity money. Guaranteed there should be an investigation, but it shows that these criminals are desperate, and that's why they're crawling out from underneath their rocks. The spotlight of truth is on these cockroaches.
300,000 people have already died from just this cut off, this hard cut of USAID.
For sure, it was a money laundering operation. For sure,
USAID is a CIA front on record to manipulate, control, and overthrow governments. It literally promotes the transgenderism, pedophilia, you name it, worldwide, the entire anti-human system. And Bono is the most famously corrupt individual the last 30 years with the UN, the WEF, and Klaus Schwab, and other globalists like Bill Gates, who's very, very close to, running around having huge event concerts to raise over $8 billion since he's been doing this. And it came out 15 years ago, they were giving 0.8% of the money in actual aid, less than 1%. So he apologized and now gives 1.2% from his one foundation. So the joke is, it's literally 1%. So he named it right. That at least is truthful. It's a sick joke.
I mean, no wonder he's upset, right? I'm sure there's people that will try to defend that and be like, well, it costs money to run a charity, blah, blah, blah. Why would I donate any fucking money to your charity if I donate you $100 and you keep 99 of it and $1 goes to the fucking cause that I'm donating for? Why would I? That's just, to me, on the face, it's a fucking scam. It's a fucking scam. Now, Grok, Grok's great. It sometimes sucks as well, too, because it's just pulling from fucking mainstream media sources. So, of course, it's a lot of times just going to parrot whatever it pulls from the mainstream media. But Grok says, no evidence supports that Bono stole 99% of charity funds for Africans. Well, okay, see, that's the way it... Well, can you say it's stolen if you're taking $100 million and you only give $1 million to charity? No, because it's in the fine print that we're only going to give... I mean, it's like a legal fucking grift. It's a legal scam that people get away with, right? No evidence supports that Bono stole 99% of charity funds for Africans. Criticisms of his one campaign focus on inefficiencies like high salaries, not personal theft. Call it what you want. It's, to me, from my perspective, it seems a lot like theft, allegedly. If you're going to take $100 from me and only give $1 to fucking charity, or $1, 1.2% of a dollar, I don't know, whatever the fuck. Let me see where I left out here. But it's contested by Rubio and Musk, who deny... Wait, hold on. Not personal theft. Bono's claims of 300,000 deaths from USAID cuts... the USAID... Sorry, I can barely read cuts. Cites a Boston University study, but it's contested by Rubio and Musk, which deny any deaths. The debate is complex, with credible estimates suggesting significant impact, but direct causation is unproven. Further investigation is needed. Now, look, I 100% believe the government and everything they say, but it's not very hard to manipulate death statistics. We've seen that happen before, Maybe you're naive to that, but yeah, they can manipulate death statistics. So, somebody dies of some other thing, fucking the flu or malaria, and it's like, yeah, a contributing factor was poor malnutrition. They weren't eating good. Okay, up, Elon killed them, right? That's how easy it is to like manipulate the death numbers, right? So you just get 300,000 of those, just like they did with COVID, which was 100% legit. There was nothing weird about COVID. All right, so I went and I asked Grok. I said, what is Bono's charity for Africa? And it explained the charity. I go, how much does the one campaign give as a percentage of its income to charity? I wanted to fact check. Is it really 1%? Is that really what they're giving of the donations to charity? And yeah, the one campaign co-founded by Bono primarily focuses on advocacy rather than direct charitable aid. So basically, most of the money goes for fucking people like Bono to go do speeches and shit. That's your charity. I give you $100 for starving kids in Africa, and then that money goes to Bono so he can travel the fucking world doing speeches. No, that's not a grift, guys. That's not a grift. It raised in 2008. It raised $15 million with only 1.2% distributed as direct aid. 184,000. Jesus, I'm in the wrong business. I'm in the wrong fucking business. While 98.8%, 14.8 million went to expenses like salaries, 5.1 million in advocacy efforts. Great. Yeah, it's more important that Bono travels the world talking about how bad it is in Africa than to actually buy those Africans food, right? Yeah, that's not a grift, guys. We should really keep spending our money on that. That's definitely what we should be doing. First of all, U2 sucks. Okay. Bloody Sunday, Sunday, Bloody Sunday. That's a good song. Okay. That's a good song. I'll give them credit, but that was like 100 fucking years ago. U2 sucks. They've always sucked and they need to go away. So Elon's come out about the big, beautiful bill. And we're going to get into details because if you haven't gotten into details to see what is in this big, beautiful bill, now's the time to just bite the bullet. Okay. Okay. Now's the time to fucking just be like, all right, what's in this fucking bill? Let me see. Where did I have it? Did I have it in here? Let's see. Let me pull it up here because there we go. Here's a whole summary of the bill. We're going to go over that in a second. But as we can see, Elon's seeming to turn his back on the bill. I think Elon's not very happy with how things are going. Neither am I. But again, what can we fucking do? Unless the president wants to go fucking insane and declare a fucking martial law or some shit and just start arresting all the fucking crooks, all the people stealing our money and being like, okay, we're going to just really abolish the FBI and abolish the CIA and abolish. Of course, that's never going to happen because everybody's a bunch of pussies. But that's really what needs to happen. The federal government needs to be like 95% of it abolished, right? And then taxes need to be cut to like basically nothing and spending cut to basically nothing except for the basic necessities. And we solve all the problems. But no, we're never going to do that. We'll promise it. We'll act like we're going to do that, but no one's ever going to actually do that. So, yeah, he's turning on it. I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, I didn't even dive into it, but I've heard a lot of shit about it. I'm not happy. Trump was doing this. Oh, anybody under 150,000, we're going to get rid of income tax. That's not going to happen. And then I look at the fucking tax, like the tax breaks are all a fucking joke. They're all a fucking joke, dude. They're not addressing anything. Self-employed still get completely fucked. Corporations still control the tax code so that they can fuck over everybody else except for themselves. It's all a bunch of fucking bullshit. So let's move to this. Wait, no, sorry. Yeah, while all this is going on, this is our fucking our debt. This is rent was $400 a month, and now that same fucking piece of shit 1-bedroom apartment is now $1,300 a month. Right? That's what that is. Oh, food up, 99-cent double cheeseburger up. That's right, $4 double cheeseburger now, and it's smaller and sucks. That's what this is. And yeah, so let's get to the big beautiful bill. Let's see what's in it. Let's see if you guys got patience to get through this shit. Right? Look, I'm glad no tax on overtime, no tax on tips. I'm glad, but it's not enough, okay? It's not enough. It's not enough. All right, so here we go. The One Big Beautiful Act, H.R. 119, often referred to as a blah, okay, we'll skip all this. It passed by a narrow vote, 215 to 214. It aims to implement President Donald Trump's domestic policy priorities, focusing on tax cuts, weak, useless fucking typical Republican tax cuts that are bullshit, border security, and reductions in certain federal spending programs. Below is a detailed description of the key provisions based on available information. Alrighty. Tax policy changes. Extension of the boring, lame-ass 2017 tax cuts. Wonderful. And Jobs Act. The bill makes permanent the TCJA provisions set to expire in 2025, including lowering individual and corporate tax rates, maintaining the top individual rate at 37%. This prevents a potential $4 trillion tax increase. Oh, great. How wonderful. No tax on tips. Oh, that's great. That's great. So basically, the only jobs that are going to be available to the average, American that's not from a wealthy fucking well-to-do family are going to be service industry jobs. So that's good. That's good. We can all just continue being waiters and fucking Uber drivers, and then we don't get to, yeah, okay, great. I'm happy. I'm happy, all right? I can not get taxed if I want to have a piece of shit fucking service industry job. Okay. No tax on overtime. Oh, great. No tax on overtime. So great. So if I'm willing to give away all my personal time and fucking be a slave to a corporation and work 80 hours a week, everything over 40 I don't get taxed on. Wonderful. So I'm rewarded for being a corporate slave. Wonderful. Okay. I don't give a fuck. Car loan interest. I don't give a fuck. Increased standard deduction. All right, increased by 1,000. Okay, I don't give a fuck. Child tax credit. Okay, great. If you have children, great. Estate tax exemption. Okay, great. This is all great. State and local tax salt deduction. Raises the salt deduction cap for, I don't even know what the fuck that means. Health savings accounts. Expands HSA eligibility. Doubles contribution limits for low and middle income earners. That's all great. That's all just wonderful. Business tax incentives. Increased section small business deduction to 23% and makes it permanent, aiming to create over 1 million jobs annually. Okay, yeah, small business. What about the self-employed small business person? Is there anything in here for us? Is there anything in here for the self-employed person? Or are self-employed people just going to continue to be fucked in the ass for our whole fucking existence? Is that what this is? Or maybe I'll just be self-employed fucking Uber driver. That's how I'll get away from fucking taxes. Okay. Increase the section 19. Okay. Reinstates 100% bonus depreciation for qualifying assets. What does this even mean to a regular fucking person, dude? What does this even mean? Allows immediate expensing or flexible amortization for domestic R&D. Oh, yeah, that sounds like that's going to help fucking lower class, middle class people, isn't it? Other tax provisions. Introduces a 5,000 tax credit for donations to scholarships. Okay, so more kids can go and get in debt and for universities and learn fucking nothing. Okay, great. That works. Funding for border security. Okay, I agree with all that. Fund the border security. Okay, one of the few things the fucking federal government needs to do is protect our borders. Okay, so good. I'm all with that. Okay, spending cuts, program reforms, Medicaid cuts. Reduces funding by approximately $880 billion, introducing work requirements for childless, non-disabled adults, 80 hours a month. So you have to work 20 hours a week to be able to get Medicaid. Okay, but what if you're so sick you can't work? What if you're so sick you can't work and you're now broke because you can't work? I don't know. It's one of the few things that I'm like kind of socialist on is fucking healthcare. But again, I'm also the other way. I'm also like, well, maybe if the government was completely not involved and we got rid of insurance companies and it was all just private doctors working directly with patients and no one in the middle, maybe that would actually, I don't know. I think there's multiple ways to solve it, but nobody wants to solve this fucking problem. SNAP cuts funding and impose stricter eligibility, including work requirements for all-bodied adults without the pay. Okay, great. So, there's a lot of fucking corruption that goes on with food stamps and all that shit. Okay, great. Clean energy tax credits. Who gives a Pell Grant student loans? Who gives a fuck? Eliminates the free IRS tax filing. So wonderful. That's something I would have liked as a self-employed person who a lot of times has emptied out my entire fucking savings account to pay my taxes. It would be nice to not also have to pay $200 to fucking TurboTax on top of that. But no, that's okay. But why not have a free filing tool? I mean, it should be so fucking simple to file your taxes in the first place. You should just be able to go to the IRS and go, I made this much. This is how much I owe. That should be it. This is just business as usual. This is like, you vote for Trump thinking, okay, this isn't a neocon. This is something else. This is a new Republican, a lot of Bernie supporters, a lot of people that are not with the neocon agenda. And what do we get? We get neocon. We get neocon shit. That's all we get. Of course, we're going to increase the military budget. Of course, we're going to do that, right? Aviation infrastructure allocates $12.5 billion to modernize air traffic control. Okay, I'm down with that. But does the federal government need to be spending money on that? Is that like the federal government's job to put money into that? I guess, man. I guess, federal government's in the fucking, got to be the daddy of everything. John F. Kennedy Center appropriates $256 million for capital repairs and maintenance through 2029. Okay. Wonderful. I like my tax dollars going to that. Create saving accounts for children born between 2024 and 2028 with 1,000 federal contribution per child for education, home purchases, or small business startups. I guess, dude. Just keep fucking me. Just keep fucking me as a self-employed person. If you're not even self-employed, a lot of these people that aren't self-employed have no fucking clue the devastation of being self-employed, right? W-2 is different because of the fucking self-employment tax. It's just ridiculous, right? Like, so say you make 50,000 self-employed, 50,000. You think, oh, that's rich. 50,000 is shit in this fucking economy. That's 10 grand you're paying in taxes, right? It's like 8,000 in self-employment tax and like 1,500 in FICA or some shit like that. It's close to 10 grand you're paying. It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous that self-employed people have to pay more than everybody else for the fucking just being punished for having the balls to not work for a corporation is what it is. Like, oh, you don't want to be a corporate slave? Tax punishment just for you, buddy. All right, other notable provisions. This is court order restrictions, gun silencer tax. Okay, good. At least we're not taxing silencers, okay? Prohibits state and local regulation of artificial intelligence for 10 years. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about AI. But then again, I don't know like what's legitimate. A lot of the fears about AI, I kind of feel like they're being overblown a little bit. You know? Deficit impact. The CBO estimates the bill will add 2.5 trillion to 3.8 trillion to the federal deficit over 10 years. On a conventional basis, or up to 5.1 trillion if temporary provisions are extended. I bet you it's going to be more than that. I bet you over the next 10 years, it's going to be way more than that. I have a feeling this is a lowball number. We'll see. Economic growth. The bill is projected to increase long-run GDP by 0.8% due to tax cuts. Now imagine if the middle class, lower class actually didn't have to have their income fucking robbed. Imagine how much that would help the fucking GDP, you fucking retards. Distributional effects. The CBO and other analysis suggest the bill benefits higher earners, top 5%. Of course it does. 4% in resources by 2027, while reducing resources for the poorest 10% by 4% by 2023 due to cuts in Medicaid and SNAP. I'd be for all the fucking cuts if you were also cutting fucking the income tax. I don't care about rich people. People making, $1 million a year plus. Do you want to income tax them? I don't give a fuck. But for the regular person, the income tax should be gotten rid of. And imagine how much benefit that would have to the economy. I mean, fuck. If you're making $50,000 a year, self-employed, I guess it's different W-2 because your employer pays half of your fucking Social Security tax. That's 10 grand in your fucking pocket. That's a down payment on a house. That's a down payment on a business. That's putting your fucking kid through school to a private school. That's so much shit you can do with that money. But no, let's give it to the government because they know what they're doing with it, right? They know what to fucking do with it. Political context and next steps. Let's see. Jobs created. Let's see. Okay. Bill benefits higher earners. Job creation. Claims include securing over 7 million jobs and creating 1 million new small business jobs annually through tax incentives. Okay. Cuts to Medicaid and SNAP could result in 14 million losing health coverage and 11 million facing reduced food assistance. I mean, if we're going to be fucking paying this much in taxes, we might as well get free food, right? If you're going to take 10 fucking grand out of somebody who makes 50,000, they should be getting free food. They should be getting free fucking healthcare. I mean, you're going to take, what is that? 10 grand out of, what is that? 1/5? That's, 1/5 is what, like 20%? You're taking, so 20% of that person's year, they are just working for the government. They should be getting free food. They should be getting free healthcare. Everything should be fucking free in this country if I'm paying that much in fucking taxes, dude. But we get nothing. And then they take it away. And then they act like, oh, we're helping you so much with it. It's like, no, either get rid of taxes or give me everything free. One or the other, you fuckheads. House passed on May 22nd with opposition from 2 Republicans, Thomas Massie and Warren Davidson, and 1 present vote, Rep. Andy Harris. Senate consideration. The bill faces potential changes in the Senate, where Republicans hold a 53-47 majority. Let's hope that this doesn't go through. I'd rather, if this is the type of bills that get passed, I'd rather no fucking bills get passed this whole time. I'd rather see the government get shut down and fucking for 4 years. I'd rather see a government shut down for 4 fucking years. That would be more of a win for Trump than this. Conclusion, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act is a sweeping legislative package combining permanent tax cuts, new tax exemptions, increased border and defense spending, and it's a disaster. It's a big, beautiful fucking disaster. Congratulations. But what did we expect, man? You got to get through shit through the Congress and the Senate. You're not going to get anything useful. You're going to get this. You're going to get more of the same, dude. So yeah, that's the big beautiful bill. That's where we're at. This is where our debt's at now, and it will continue to go straight up like a rocket into the sky. And yeah, our money will, as a regular person, our money will not go as far, and our rent will continue to be so much that people are probably going to have to live 5 people to like 1 single bedroom apartment the way immigrants live now. That's the way we're going to have to live as Americans, and just get used to it. Be happy. And in 4 years, we'll have Joe Biden or some other fucking, it won't be Joe Biden. We'll have some Joe Biden-like fucking Democrat probably take over and raise taxes again, and we'll be back to square one. Nothing will have changed. Wonderful. Did you guys hear about this Jonathan Jost guy? The guy that did the voice for King of the Hill. So he got murdered in my hometown of San Antonio, Texas. And this is a very interesting story. This is a very interesting story because we don't know what's true at this point. There's like two sides to this story. Midwest Request gifted membership. Sent one pink membership. Shmai Muck Muck. Yeah, welcome, Shmai Muck Muck. Welcome to the team, and thank you, the Midwest Request, for the membership gift. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully I didn't miss any chats while I was ranting. I don't think I did. Okay. All right, so yeah, if you guys want to support the show, you know how to do it. Super chat, become a member. Appreciate it. Let me see here, because this is freezing on me. I got too many windows open. To close some of these windows. Do that one. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Here we go. Okay. See if this is working better. Yeah, I don't know, man. This fucking window is freezing up. Give me a second. Okay, I think it's better now. Yeah, it's not better. I don't know what's going on. It's hopefully the stream's still working, but my live stream window is just fucking, it's almost like the browser's fucked. And it's got to reload the window. So hopefully everything's still working. Bear with me here. Let me reload this window. Love it. Love it when everything works like shit. Come on, computer. You can do it. Yeah, I think it just needed to be reloaded. There we go. All right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, everything's working now. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I need this window to be fucking working so I can see chats and don't miss anything. All right, let's get back to this. Jonathan Jost. So you guys don't know Jonathan Jost played the Indian character in King of the Hill. He was murdered in front of his house. And the immediate story was that it was a hate crime because he's gay. I'm going to get into that because I don't know if he's actually gay. I mean, the details are kind of sounds like he's straight, but okay, let's get into it.
Story that's getting national attention today. Real life drama has led to the death of a Hollywood actor right here in San Antonio. 59-year-old Jonathan Jost, known for his role in the animated series King of the Hill, was shot dead in a South Side neighborhood. Katrina Weber shows us why people there say that this was a final act in a series of problems.
This house was built by my dad in 1957 for my mom.
This was no role, but real-life heartbreak for actor Jonathan Jost when his family home on Dorsey Street burned down in January. On Sunday, neighbors say he was back on the now empty lot, checking on the Southside property when he got into a deadly confrontation.
So I just got into my vehicle, turned it on, and so my back was to them.
You're checking on the empty, burned-out lot to make sure that the ashes are still good? This doesn't make much sense. Yep.
Didn't see when it happened.
A pile of mail now sits where this neighbor who hid her identity says Jost was standing, arguing with someone in a car right before gunshots rang out.
I just ducked and waited, and the car drove off fast, and then that's when I looked up and I saw him on the ground.
Jost died from his wounds. San Antonio police have arrested a neighbor, 56-year-old Sigfredo Ceja Alvarez, for his murder. Jost was best known for voicing the John Redcorn character in the animated series King of the Hill. He also appeared in Parks and Recreation. In the neighborhood, people say Jost made his presence known, and not always in a good way.
We would see him down the street, yelling, ranting and raving, sometimes walking up and down the street.
Neighbors say Jost took the whole private property concept very seriously. Even after his house had burned down, they say he fiercely protected not only what was behind this fence, but well beyond it.
And just different things. He'll argue with different people.
Maybe somebody would drive by his home. He didn't like people driving in front of his home.
One neighbor says she saw similar behavior from Jost Sunday, although it's still unclear exactly how that led to him being shot. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was just checking his mail, somebody said. I get it. Yeah, he's just checking his mail. But I don't know. We're going to hear more about this. Okay. Just so you guys know, yeah, this is a little more.
I'd like to pass the land on to you,
This is a character he played.
for all the help you've given me.
Score!
You guys remember? I mean, I remember this character very well.
Actor Jonathan Jost, best known as the voice of John Redcorn on King of the Hill.
All right, just so you guys know, that's who he played. All right, now, Immediately his boyfriend, okay, his boyfriend said this. A statement from Tristan Kern de Gonzalez. No relation. Husband of Jonathan Joss. My husband, Jonathan Joss, and I were involved in a shooting while checking the mail at the site of our former home. The home was burned down after over 2 years of threats from people in the area who repeat. So the house was burned down a couple months before this happened. Maybe his neighbors really wanted him out. They burned his fucking house down. I don't know. This is okay, but this is according to his husband. We reported these threats to law enforcement multiple times and nothing was done. Throughout the time, we were harassed regularly by individuals who made it clear they did not accept our relationship. Much of the harassment was openly homophobic, right? So they were upset about this gay relationship, right? Okay. When we returned to the site to check our mail, we discovered the skull of one of our dogs and its harness placed in clear view. Okay. Now, this is, if that's true, that is beyond fucked up. And the police, I'm sure, would say something about that. They would say, yeah, somebody killed their dog, and I mean, that would be okay. So that's, again, I'm taking all this with a grain of salt, and we'll explain why here in a little bit. We'll get more into it. Throughout the time we were harassed, much of what was the part with the dog? One of our dogs. Okay, this caused both of us severe emotional distress. We began yelling and crying in response to the pain of what we saw. Okay, so they showed up to check their mail and they saw the skull of their deceased dog. So they began yelling and crying in response. Like, I would freak out too if I saw something like that. So, okay. While we were doing this, a man approached us. He started yelling violent homophobic slurs at us. He then raised a gun from his lap and fired. Jonathan and I had no weapons. We were not threatening anyone. We were grieving. We were standing side by side when the man fired. Jonathan pushed me out of the way. He saved my life. Jonathan is my husband. He gave me more love in our time together than most people ever get. We were newlyweds. We picked Valentine's Day. We're in the process of looking for a trailer and planning our future. He was murdered by someone who could not stand the sight of two men loving each other. Two men. Which is perfectly fine. That's not why I say two men like that. I say two men like that because we're going to find out that this is actually not a man. This is, or it's a trans man. It's a woman, biological woman, who is transitioned to being a man. So technically, I guess you could call it a gay relationship, but it's biologically a man and woman. It's just the woman now identifies as a man. So that makes it a gay relationship. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a little weird. But technically, it's a straight relationship. It's a man and a woman, biologically. Okay, so you see where this is just weird for me? This is just weird, okay? He was murdered by someone who could not stand the sight of two men loving each other. Okay, he doesn't even look like a man. First time I looked at it, I was like, oh, this gay dude actually, like, is pulling off looking like a chick. And then I found out, oh, it is actually a biological chick. That's why. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so it was a hate crime, guys. Let's see what else we got here. So yeah, this is his husband. She is a trans man, biological female. So it's a gay relationship. I mean, that seems kind of like a workaround to like become part of the gay community and get all the benefits of being in the gay community, without actually being gay. Which is like, oh, I'll just dress like a dude as a woman, and then now we're in a gay relationship. Like, no, you're still a woman. It's a man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't get it. Jonathan Joss' husband is a biological female. What homophobic hate crime? Just a delusional woman on hormone therapy tries to profit off the death of her somewhat famous, not really husband. Classic. Okay, so now we got a real he said, she said thing going on here, right? Like, what really happened? Well, the San Antonio PD came out. They had something to say. They said, SAPD Homicide is currently investigating the murder of Jonathan Joss, despite online claims of this being a hate crime. Currently, the investigation has found no evidence to indicate that Mr. Joss's murder was related to his sexual orientation, which was straight, by the way. I'm sorry, if you're sleeping with a biological female as a man, you're not gay. You're straight. You're just sleeping with a butch chick, right? You're sleeping with a tomboy. Like, who cares, dude? Like everybody so badly wants to be gay, they're trying to find loopholes to like consider themselves gay. Because I'm sure on your resume, especially in Hollywood, being gay is probably good for your resume at this point. So yeah, the SAPD investigators handled these allegations very seriously and have thoroughly reviewed all available information. Should any evidence come to light, the suspect will be charged accordingly. So, of course, in the comments, everybody's like, oh, how dare you say it's not a hate crime? Blah, blah, blah. Let's wait for the investigation to conclude before saying this was a hate crime. There's no reason to believe that it was. Okay, yeah, that's a reasonable comment. How would this be homophobia if he was married to a woman? Which is like what I'm thinking. Like, okay, what is going on here? Yeah, that neighborhood, maybe there's some Ring cameras. Somebody asked if there was no cameras. Maybe there's some Ring cameras in the neighbors' houses that we'll get some evidence from. But that seemed like one of those kind of out in the country neighborhoods in the South Side where the houses are like, maybe, I don't know if you're going to get a good view. I don't know. So sick that the police just lie about clear hate crimes like this. Everybody so badly wants it to be a hate crime. Please, God, it can't just be a regular murder. It's got to be a hate crime. It's like so fucking pathetic, dude. Maybe his partner's statements could inform your investigation. I never realized the home of the Alamo was as bad as you are until we traveled through the beginning of the COVID pandemic, and I was the only person walking through your downtown by the river at 6 a.m. and saw all the homeless people sleeping in store. Okay, yeah, we got a problem. Yeah, just like Austin and every other city. Money does weird things. Ex-lover for hire. Yeah, I mean, this is probably, look, I'm speculating, but I think we're going to find out there's a whole lot more to this story than just, oh, he's a gay guy and boo, bang, bang. That's going to be a whole lot more than that. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, man. I could be wrong. But let's see. And then this is some of the neighbors are now coming out and talking about this guy, right? So it is possible that this is one of those situations where all the neighbors hated this guy and they're just like happy, you know? Like, I forgot, there was like a small town. There was a documentary I watched about this small town where like this guy was like bullying everybody in the small town. And then one day, like somebody had enough and just murdered him. And like everybody in the town covered up for his murder because they all hated the guy. It could be similar to this. Like everybody in that neighborhood just was sick of this guy's shit, you know, but who knows? I mean, nobody deserves to get murdered, obviously. Obviously, if the guy was killed and it wasn't in self-defense and there was, you know, then yeah, I mean, it's clearly wrong. But I don't know. This is one of those stories we don't know what the fuck happened. So I lived across this man for years. He started gunfights constantly. Sounds like an outstanding gentleman starting gunfights. I mean, how do you start gunfights? And I'm sure. Okay, again, this guy's got a long record too. Like the police reports, like this guy was calling the police like all the fucking time. I don't know if I pulled anything about that, but it's like, I mean, the police were going out there every night for like crazy shit. So he started gunfights constantly, and he burnt his own house down trying to make a meth lab inside, according to one of his neighbors. So the husband, says that the house made it seem like the neighbors burnt the house down, right? Because it was like a homophobic hate crime. Somebody burnt their house down because they hated him for being gay. According to the neighbors, he was running a meth lab in his house. So yeah, okay. Maybe they're lying. Maybe they hated this guy and they're just lying. He constantly threatened his surrounding neighbors and played victim when cops came. Many neighbors have video proof of his torment. He used to throw bricks through my window and tore several of our mailboxes down. He was armed when he was shot and killed. Okay, I mean, who is this guy that he has that information? Is this guy an eyewitness to what happened? Because again, the wife is saying he didn't have a gun. He was armed when he was shot and killed, and no one on that block ever yelled homophobic slurs at him. It's all a lie from his husband for sympathy. So yeah, if the SAPD is coming out and saying there's no evidence that this was a hate crime, they probably have already evidence as to why this happened, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they were gay. They weren't even gay. It was a man and a woman. So yeah, interesting. Rest in peace. Guy was I loved his character on King of the Hill. That's sad, but it's crazy. I think there's some craziness going on here. I think we're going to find out these people were absolutely fucking crazy. You guys remember Jamie White, the InfoWars reporter that was murdered outside of his apartment? You guys remember that? Well, turns out it wasn't Ukraine. We were all a little worried. that he might have got whacked by Ukraine because he was apparently on a Ukrainian hit list at one point. And it seemed like a hit. I mean, he was just shot once, like a. But no, you know, it wasn't as glorious as that. I mean, to be honest, like if you're gonna die that way, wouldn't you rather die by a Ukrainian hit squad than a bunch of fucking punk ass kids going around robbing Kias, bunch of fucking 15-year-old little shits? That's what happened. Somebody was breaking into his car. Good old Austin crime. Crime's through the roof around here. Somebody was breaking into his car and he tried to stop him, and it was like 4 kids. One of them pulled out a gun and killed him. Sad story, man. Well, so fucking meaningless, too. So fucking meaningless.
Police say they don't believe Jamie White was specifically targeted during this crime back in March, but say the events leading up to his death were unfortunate and tragic.
I would like to take a moment to extend my heartfelt condolences
to
the friends and family of Jamie, whose life was taken tragically.
Austin police investigator Jason Jones started his
Bro, I feel bad for these local newscasters. They make no money. Like, there was one I was watching, they were covering that Joe's thing. It was like this old lady. She's like in her 60s. And, you know, she's retired and she's like, I guess I'll just take a job with the news for like $12 an hour. Give me something to do. Yeah, it's pathetic, man.
Data in this case with a heartfelt message for InfoWars reporter Jamie White's family. In March, he was shot and killed in the parking lot of his Southeast Austin apartment complex while trying to stop his car from being stolen. Today, APD announced the arrest of 3 more suspects in this case.
And we believe this is a very unfortunate and tragic series of senseless events involving the 4 individuals who obviously have no value for human life.
Jones says the suspects, identified as 17-year-olds Rodney Charles Hill and Eloy Adrian Camarillo, along with 2 minors.
Yeah, there are certain people you can look at them and you just know they're bad people. This is a guy that he looks like every piece of shit that I went to school with. That was like a piece of shit wannabe gangster bully fucking criminal who was probably in jail by the time they were 16. They have a look, man. They have a look. You can almost see it in some people's faces. You can see like, oh, this is not a good dude. This guy's just up to shit. And yeah, up with that haircut, dude. Come on.
Minors broke into White's vehicle, a Kia Soul, to steal it. White ended up confronting them, leading to him being shot and the suspects leaving the scene. Investigators say surrounding surveillance video helped identify the suspect vehicle, a black Kia Soul.
That vehicle was identified as having been stolen from an apartment complex in Kyle on March 9th.
Jones says that wasn't the only suspect vehicle in this case. License plate reader technology helped find another silver Kia Soul, which was also stolen, and led police to the suspects.
That was extremely valuable, and we're very fortunate that we got it. As you know, in the city of Austin, we have 7 days worth of data, and we were like coming up to that period.
This was a crime issue that was perpetrated by social media.
Kia U.S. spokesperson James Bell acknowledges Kia-made cars have been a target of vehicle thefts by teens nationwide, but says there's been a recent decline after working with law enforcement to provide steering wheel locks for drivers.
Basically, Kia got him murdered. Allegedly. Because Kia had a fucking flaw in their cars that allowed them to be broken into very easily. And I think what happened was it became a social media trend where videos were going around showing how easy it is to break into these Kias. So these fucking retard kids went around breaking into Kias and murdered somebody. Good job, Kia. Make a car that doesn't suck. How about that?
We just wanted our customers to be confident, comfortable.
In a statement, White's sister Kelly Neal tells CBS Austin in part, "My father and I would like to thank the Austin Police Department who have and continue to work towards justice for Jamie." She also says, no matter the outcome of their trials, our grief remains and we will continue to carry the pain for the rest of our lives. Reporting in Southeast Austin, Jamal Kennedy, CBS Austin.
Dude, that's gotta suck, man. That's one thing that I hope to never become a fucking statistic of some meaningless fucking violence. Like, oh, he's walking his dog and somebody just came up and fucking shot him in the head because they needed $10 or something. They stole his wallet for $10. Like, what kind of world do we live in where that's the kind of shit that can happen to you? You know? And then people try to say, like, Austin's safe. Austin's safe. No, Austin is a shithole. And if you go in 6th Street, you go down to 6th Street on Austin, a lot of different places in Austin, you better have your head on a fucking swivel, okay? And move like you're in fucking Chirac or something. In and out as quick as possible. Don't talk to anybody. Anybody that stops you on the street, asks you for something, just keep moving. Just keep moving. Anyway, what a wonderful, wonderful world we live in right now, boys. Alex Jones, I'm going to play a little bit of this, 16 minutes. Let's see what Alex has to say.
This data led us to the identification of 4 suspects. All have been arrested. All have been charged with capital murder in this case. They are identified as Eloy Camarillo, a 17-year-old.
Yeah, Nephilim Death Squad said, is the car window broken in the background? I could have sworn I saw that too. There's like a hole in that window in that one shot, right? Like it's real quick if you don't notice it. I'm like, that didn't look like a new car though. I think that's just an old piece of shit car that somebody else broke into and now it's just sitting there. I mean, this is what people are doing. We're becoming San Francisco now, dude. Like it's literally like you can't have a car out in the street. People are going to come break your window and steal your shit, if not rob your fucking car. And if you try to stop them, they'll shoot you in the face because this is Texas and 15-year-old kids can get a gun. You know, I don't know if Jamie didn't have a gun or what, or maybe he just thought these are a bunch of kids. They'll get scared and run away. But if you're going to try to stop somebody from breaking into your car, you better have that gun in your hand, ready to go. Okay? Because life is not worth much to some people.
Hispanic male arrested on April 30th. A 15-year-old juvenile arrested on May 5th, juvenile male. A second 15-year-old juvenile male arrested on May 12th.
Midwest with another gift. Thank you, Midwest. And yes, I do live in the gay part of Texas, Midwest. I saw your comment earlier. I didn't want to say anything because you made me feel bad. You made me feel bad about myself. Welcome, G-Lo. Welcome back, G-Lo.
20th. And Rodney Charles Hill, a 17-year-old black male, arrested on May 27th. Just to clarify state law so you guys understand why they're charged the way they're charged. In Texas, the offense of capital murder includes intentionally committing murder during the course of kidnapping. During the course of a kidnapping, a robbery, a burglary, and aggravated sexual assault.
No shit, JT says, because I said earlier, like, if you're going to stop somebody from breaking into your car, you better be coming out with your, like, pistol ready to go, right? Because you don't know what that person's going to do to stop you from stopping them, right? Like in Jamie's case. JT says, then they'll arrest you for defending your car. This is a real fucking thing, dude. This is a real thing that, like, you're basically the one that gets punished for trying to protect yourself in your neighborhood. Like this story here, we're going to get to this one at the end, but this guy, that's not this one. This guy has a similar story. His boss kept stealing his food, so he put laxative in his food one day to catch the person stealing it, and he found out it was his boss, and he got in trouble. They're going to press charges on this fucking guy, right? So this boss could just steal his food all day long, and he reports it. They won't show him the cameras to see who's doing it. They cover for the boss. I think they knew it was his boss that was stealing it the whole time. He puts laxatives in there. And now he's the one that gets fired. He's the one that's in trouble. He's the one that's, they're trying to like make it like it was a terrorist act. And I think it might actually be against the law because you're like booby trapping something. But it's like, it's your food, dude. And what other choice did he have? If his bosses didn't want to do anything about it, what's he supposed to do? Go to the police and be like, hey, someone keeps stealing my food. Like, this is where we are in the world. A lot of us are like this where we get fucked. And if we do anything about it, we just get fucked harder. So the only choice we have is to just bend over and try to pretend that we enjoy getting fucked. That's what they want. Just bend over and pretend like you enjoy it. Okay, sorry. Where did I leave off? Watch that. Yeah, Alex. Let's see what Alex says about
obstruction or retaliation or
killed. I'm statistic. 2 more suspects, bringing the total number to 4, have been arrested in the brutal execution-style murder of our great reporter and good personal friend, Jamie White, a few months ago. The Austin Police Department has done a really great job tracking this down and bringing these alleged perpetrators to justice. They're all facing the death penalty for capital premeditated murder, because when you go out as an armed gang to carjack and rob people, and then somebody gets killed, they're all guilty, and I absolutely agree with that. So death penalty for bandits that kill innocent people. And again, the scourge of white people being killed in the crime statistics, you're 10, 12, 15, 20 times more likely, depending on what area you are in the country. It's all above 10 times more likely to be killed if you are.
Okay, yeah. Alex can show these on this show. I can't show that shit. Let's move on. Let's move on. And if all that's not good enough, boys, y'all ready for World War III? We've been talking about World War III forever, but Jesus Christ, it sure seems like we're getting closer there. And what happened, Trump? What happened to on day one, we're going to have peace? It doesn't look like we're going to have peace. It looks like this was allowed to go on for so long that peace is going to be very difficult because we got two very, very angry sides who do not want peace. I'm talking about Russia and Ukraine. I don't know where this is going to lead, but by God, I hope no one starts shooting off nukes because that's becoming more of a possibility. Beanie Boy, let's let Beanie Boy talk about it. I know you guys love Beanie Boy, right? Everybody loves Beanie Boy. I liked him way better than the quartering. I tried to watch a video of the quartering. He was talking about Bono and Elon, you know, how Bono was full of shit and all that. I don't know how anybody can watch the quartering. The guy is the most boring. I mean, it was a 10-minute video and he couldn't fucking speak for everything was I fucking hate the quartering. So when it comes to Tim might be annoying. Tim might be a lot of things, but at least the motherfucker can talk. Okay?
A dramatic escalation, some are calling it, as Ukraine has bombed the Kerch Bridge. This is the formal physical structure that connects the Russian landmass to Crimea. They're calling this an audacious underwater attack on Putin's prized possession as the war spirals and nuclear fears soar. My friends, it's worse than that. From Bloomberg, we have this story. Kiev's brazen drone strike on nuclear bombers alarms Moscow. That's right. Ukraine launched a surreptitious drone strike, loading drones in the back of trucks over the course of 18 months. Those drones launched up into the air all at once and then bombed Russia's nuclear bomber fleet. These are how they deliver what are called nuclear gravity bombs. That is when the bomber comes and drops, you know, like in World War II, that's what we did.
I forgot where I heard this, but it made sense. Like, this is the future warfare. Like, all these fancy jets, all this shit, all these... no, it's fucking drones, dude. It's fucking drones. You just get a fucking 100 drones, put them in the back of a truck, unleash them, and those tanks, fucking... Everything's just gone. I don't know, man. It seems like warfare is going to completely change to where it's like just robots murdering everybody. It's just like one country doesn't like another country. Let's just send a bunch of robots to start murdering people. Wow. The drones are terrifying to me. I don't know what it is. Something just like when you hear about like those drones in the fucking Ukraine-Russia war where they just like fly over you and they just fly to you and blow up right, you know, just come right to you. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a drone. I'm dead. Boom. Everything's blown up. It's just terrifying, dude. So war is going to get really ugly. I mean, there was a point when I was younger where I was like, well, it would be nice if robots were fighting the war, right? And like humans didn't have to fight and we just had robot armies and we just let the robot armies fight. It's like, no, because the robot armies are going to end up murdering the humans. It's not like the robot armies are just going to fight other robots. No, they're going to murder everybody.
Now, of course, for nuclear weapons, there are intercontinental ballistic missiles, there's nuclear artillery shells, things like this, and then there are bombers. There is a concern now that Kiev's attack on Russia could result in a dramatic escalation. I'm not so sure, though. I'm not so sure. Some are saying this is dragging us into a nuclear war with Russia, that we are going to be responsible in the eyes of Russia, and they may retaliate on our systems through cyber attacks or even strike NATO assets. Again, not so sure. Not so sure. This could actually signal the end of U.S. support for Ukraine. And I'll tell you why. Ukraine is not providing intel to the United States, information on the attacks that they are planning. This means the U.S., whilst currently Donald Trump is trying to negotiate peace, Ukraine's intentionally keeping Trump in the dark. From the Daily Beast.
If it was me, I would just be like, publicly, as as Trump, I would be like, look, we're not involved anymore. If you need any help diplomatically, you want us to sit down at the table and just diplomatically try to help come up with a peace deal, we're here. We'll help. Otherwise, you crazy kids have fun and you sort your shit out. I don't know, man. I'm really like a protectionist. I just don't give a fuck. Or I don't know if protectionist is the right word. Whatever. Isolationist, I guess. Like, I just don't give a fuck. Let's protect our border. Let's worry about defense of this fucking country. and we can have like diplomacy and good dealings with other countries. But we don't got to get involved every time two fucking neighbors start fucking with each other.
Ukraine deliberately blindsided Trump before massive drone attack on Russia.
So yeah, that's wonderful, guys. Hopefully we don't have any World War III coming soon. Okay, see what else we got here. I was watching this and I was like, should I react to this? I guess we can watch this. Let's see what else we got. This guy, yeah, I basically described this guy's video. You know, this is typical situation where you're getting fucked over at work by your bosses, and there's just nothing you can do. We'll play it. We'll play it.
I'm about to get fired from my job, or at least I think I am. I'm waiting for them to come get me because basically I made an employee crap their pants on the floor because someone kept stealing my lunch. So I put a crap ton of laxatives in my lunch, right? Because stop stealing my stuff. Figured that'd be the easiest way to catch them. It had been going on for probably a good 2 months or so, and I had told, you know, my mate.
Yeah, I explained this. It's basically what I explained is everything he says. Basically, the guy shit himself, and then they're coming after him like he's a terrorist now. Like he committed some sort of fucking terrorist act. Instead of being like, yeah, that was fucked up, but we're sorry we didn't address people stealing your property. It's like, no, you're a terrorist for trying to fucking find out who was stealing your property. And it's funny, he kept going to his higher-ups, and it was the higher-up that was stealing his food. What do you do in that situation? If you can't put some laxatives in your food, what do you do? I mean, if I'm in that situation, I can't put laxatives in the food, and I can't get video evidence. There are cameras, but they won't give them any video evidence of who's doing it. Maybe at that point, I just start stealing food. I think that's the answer. I think just every day, any food that's in the fridge, you just eat that shit. Everything. Every day. Every lunch, every break. You got 2 breaks in lunch, right? Every break, you eat as much food as you can in that 15 minutes. During lunch, you eat as much. And you just clear that fucking fridge out, dude. Just clear it out. I think that's the only option you'd have. But then you'd get fired for stealing food. Right? Then you would be the food thief. And the fact that you started it because your food was being stolen will just be completely ignored, and you'll be the bad guy. So there's no winning in these situations. There's no winning whatsoever. All right, so Elon Musk is apparently fucking murdering people in Mississippi. What's this, Mississippi? Is that where it is? So XAI is generating so much, like they need so much energy to power the AI that they have all of these like portable gas-powered generators that are like just, I don't know. I don't know how much I believe any of this. This seems like a fucking left-wing hit piece. And it seems like a lot of climate change bullshit.
Sometimes the most shocking corporate misconduct is hidden in plain sight, invisible to the naked eye.
What is happening here will swallow our world if we don't stop it right here, right now.
Looking back, there was an early clue that the world's richest man was up to something here.
It's just like, why is Elon Musk coming to Memphis?
The people of Memphis soon found out.
Now Elon Musk is coming to Memphis to build the world's largest supercomputer.
A year later,
we here because we mean business.
People here want answers.
It's the job of the health department to protect our lungs, and not once have they went to XAI to see that they had 35 gas turbines operating and polluting our air.
We went to Memphis and found an environment.
Okay, so this is a hard one to decide, because if I'm a local person and I'm living there and there's all these gas turbines and the air starts smelling bad and the quality of air goes down, that's a problem. As a local, I'd be like, this sucks, right? But I don't know how much I believe these motherfuckers. That's the hard part. I got to go there and see for myself. I got to go, like, is the air quality bad here? Is it hard to breathe? Does it smell bad? Because this seems like a grift.
Environmental crime scene. Musk's data center burning enough methane to power a small city with no permits and no pollution controls.
I have not seen anything like this. We believe they've already violated the Clean Air Act.
As Musk helps dismantle the very federal agency that's supposed to protect us against pollution like this.
There is no way to miss how this is a coordinated strategy.
What does Memphis reveal about the future Elon Musk wants for us all?
Is it also possible that this is just a temporary solution until they have enough energy to like they possibly might not be able to generate enough energy off the local grid and whatever at the moment. So they're building out that capacity, and until that capacity gets built out, they're going to use these generators to make up the difference. I don't know, but this does seem more of this climate change bullshit.
So the mission of XAI and
But clean air is important. That is important.
Grok is to understand the universe.
In 2023, Musk founded XAI to produce and sell artificial intelligence.
We want to understand the nature of the universe so we can figure out where are the aliens, what's the meaning of life, how does the universe end.
Its main product is Grok, an AI chatbot that he's incorporated into Twitter, or X. Musk was entering the race to dominate the AI market, but he was arriving late, years after competitors like OpenAI and Google had begun training their AI systems. So in Musk's mind, he had to move fast.
We went to the data center providers and said, how long would it take to have 100,000 GPUs operating coherently in a single location? And we got timeframes from 18 to 24 months. So we're like, well, 18 to 24 months, that means losing as a certainty. So the only option was to do it ourselves.
Been waiting for this moment. I am pleased to announce that XAI's Gigafactory of Compute, the world's largest supercomputer, is to be located in Memphis, Tennessee.
Musk dubbed the project Colossus, after a movie about a supercomputer that becomes sentient and assumes total control of the world.
And so, my fellow human beings, we all directly and indirectly live in the shade, but not the shadow of Colossus.
When you think about the computational power that it will take to put humans on the surface of Mars, that's going to come.
I think I forgot to read off Be Unstoppable with another gifted membership. Thank you, Be Unstoppable. Amber Lance, welcome to the team, Amber.
From the Gigafactory of Compute that calls Memphis home. We were told that by the company. And so it required speed and power.
It's announced as a done deal.
Keyshawn Pearson grew up in South Memphis.
A billionaire and his organization is coming to our city, and we're just finding out after the land has been purchased, after the project has been approved by certain officials, right, who did know.
This is huge. This puts the word out there that Memphis understands operating at the speed of business.
As a community, we're trying to reach out to people and understand what is XAI. He built it without us even knowing that it was being built.
He's supposed to tell you? Who the fuck are you? Who is you? Why the fuck he gotta tell you? He ain't gotta tell you shit. You ain't the fucking decider around here. Now this is crazy. Like, I mean, who the fuck is this person? What does she have anything to fucking do with anything?
We had to watch this over.
He didn't tell me he was gonna build next. Well, who the fuck are you, Shaniqua? No one gives a fuck what you think. You're fucking Shaniqua. Who are you? I mean, you're nobody. He's not gonna run shit by you. Oh my God, they're building a McDonald's next to me. McDonald's didn't even ask me if they could build a McDonald's next to me.
X or
doesn't work that way.
Twitter. Brent Mayo, Elon Musk would tweet often about where they were in the progress, how fast things were moving.
To train an AI system, a data center requires an enormous amount of electricity. The question was, where would the power come from?
Most companies, when they come to the city of Memphis, they plug into our power grid. That's what you'd think would happen. Why would this be any different? Unfortunately, we learned because it is a billionaire's corporation, it would be a lot different.
Because it's a billionaire's corporation? It would be that's just dumb. That's just dumb. It's different because it's AI and it needs more power than what your fucking grid can fucking give. That's why it's different. And he's a billionaire, so he has the money to fucking bring in generators if he has to. Like, I don't know. This is sounding very much like a political hit piece.
XAI made a deal with the local electric company for 150 megawatts of power and agreed to build a new substation to help meet that demand. But Musk's ambitious plans suggested he would need much more power than that, and fast. Soon, people started to notice some unusual structures outside the facility.
I drove out there, and the first thing I did was hear the turbines. You can smell it as well. Such a disturbingly unique smell.
So he's burning gas like every car does. And it's a disturbing, like what? They're burning gasoline. I don't know. I gotta go. Maybe it is a bad smell. I don't know anything about these turbines, but it sounds like they're just burning gasoline. Like, and again, like Elon, you are rich enough that you could build these things in the middle of fucking nowhere. Maybe the problem with there wouldn't be a good power grid in the middle of nowhere, but yeah, maybe these things need to be built in the fucking desert.
On the road, Keyshawn and others could see a row of machines that are typically only used for remote or emergency operations. Mobile gas turbines.
I have never seen portable turbines used like this.
Patrick Anderson works on air quality cases for the Southern Environmental Law Center.
We know that these
Climate change, guys. This is all climate change activists.
kinds of generators require air permits.
This guy is definitely.
And so right off the bat, we started filing records requests.
Where's your air permit? You don't have your air permit?
With the local Shelby County Health Department. Do you have an air permit application from XAI? And they came back and basically said, no, we have nothing to hand over. We also filed records requests with EPA to see what they had. They also did not have details on what is on the ground out there. Nobody from the regulatory side, the health department, the city, EPA, has told the public or us really one iota of what's actually operating out there.
To figure that out, Patrick and his team hired a photographer to capture the data center from above. The images revealed far more turbines than anyone knew about. 35.
So somebody said that Elon's doing this because the grid, the people who own the grid are going to charge him ridiculous amounts once they know he needs his energy. So is it actually cheaper for him to generate the electricity through these fucking turbines than to just power through the grid? I don't think that makes sense. I think what's going on here is he needs more energy than the grid can supply, because apparently this AI shit needs like insane amounts of energy. So I think this is what's going on. Like the grid just doesn't supply the energy he needs to properly run his systems. But here's my hope for a best case scenario is that this forces like us to get serious about our grid and to actually improve it and to be able to generate more energy in the future. Hopefully we'll evolve to have better, more powerful grids. Because, you know, usually this is what it takes to evolve and make things better. It takes some shit like this. So we'll see.
I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely stunned. How do we not know about this?
According to XAI leadership, the turbines are not being used and are not connected.
Under pressure, XAI claimed it was using less than half of those turbines.
I've talked to the XAI leadership team. There are 35, but there are only 15 that are on. The other ones are stored on the site.
Well, first off, these are expensive. There's a turbine shortage nationally. You don't obtain these turbines and put them on site if you're not intending to operate them.
So Patrick and his team sent the photographer back out with a high-end thermal camera.
Ooh, did you see how they put the dark music? All of a sudden the dark, creepy music comes on. Ooh, look at the dark music with the creepy red lights coming out. Ooh, death, death, death. So they're just burning diesel, dude. Like tons of diesel being burned every day.
What we saw is 33 of the 35 were very clearly operating.
The turbines were capable of generating about 420 megawatts of electricity.
I mean, let's ban AI. I'm down for it. Let's just ban it. I like AI. I like a lot of the things it does. Like I like using Grok and ChatGPT helped me. I can fucking code now with ChatGPT. Like I literally made a fucking script that will allow me to search all the transcripts of every Rogan episode that's publicly available. And I can find, you don't understand how helpful that is. Like if I need Rogan talking about anything, I can find it because there's so many Rogan episodes. He literally has talked about everything you could possibly ever talk about. And but the last 3 cuts I made, I used that, and it was like, it brought back an ability I used to have because there used to be a website where somebody already did that. But that website went down a few years back. But since I learned how to use ChatGPT to help me code, I could build a fucking Python script that would allow me to do that. So AI is fucking great, right? Like to help me do something like that is good for research and all kinds of great shit. what kind of fucks with me is that they want AI to basically be our bosses. Like with YouTube, with most of the internet, AI is the fucking moderation now. And it's fucking terrible. It is terrible. You don't have human eyes on anything anymore. The AI fucks up a lot. And that might be simply what's happening with my channel, is the AI just doesn't know how to fucking figure out what I am. And just, I don't know, it puts decide my trust score should be super low or whatever. Whatever it is, these AI algorithms that are fucking policing everything now, they're terrible. And I think they're going to want AI to be policing all of our lives. That is terrifying. I don't want AI policing our lives. I want AI tools to make life better, but I don't want the AI to be our fucking bosses, to be our overlords. And that's what they want. That's where it's like, oh, okay, well, then get rid of it. If you want AI to be my boss and be my overlord, I don't want it. I'll take away the ability for it to help me fucking code, all that shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't want it. Because that, to me, that's a dystopia. And we're kind of already in it. And we're already in it with YouTube. It's all the fucking, I mean, they don't want humans doing anything anymore. It's all these fucking algorithms. That sometimes they work good and sometimes they fuck up badly. And when they fuck up badly, there's no human there to fix it for you. You're just a victim of a fucking algorithm fucking up. And it's disturbing and it sucks. It's Facebook's algorithm has now fucked me and completely restricted my monetization. No, they've never had a human look at it for 3 years now. And it's a complete fuck up of a fucking policy violation that should be overturned. YouTube's clearly throttling the fuck out of my channel. It's clearly they're throttling whatever it is. I mean, the labels, if they could ever show me the labels, I mean, the amount of labels they must have on my channel, I don't know, sexually explicit content, borderline violative content. I mean, I'm sure there's hundreds of fucking labels they have on my channel that's completely killing my reach. Then I see other channels that basically are in the same, we could basically make the same video and I'll get 10,000 views and they get 200,000. And it's like, okay, it's literally the same video. Or like and I see it too when people take my videos and repost them and then they go viral when it's not associated with me. And it's like, yeah. And this is all AI. Because I guarantee you, if they had a human who was willing to take the time to look over my channel, they'd go, oh, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we doing this to this channel? But no, there's no human to do that. It's all AI. So get ready to, bend over for the AI and to pretend like you like it.
Enough to power around 300,000 homes.
Schmuckmuck says, how is your YouTube versus X traffic right now? Dude, X was starting, I was killing it on X, okay? I was like posting daily. I'm like, I got 200, 300 fucking supercuts I've made over the last 7 years. So I'm like, I'm just going to, every day I'm going to post one. And it was doing really well and my reach was growing and I was actually starting to make some money on X. And that was every bit of money I can make right now because YouTube is like, it's every day my views get less on YouTube. No matter what I try. No matter what I try, it gets worse. And I keep trying things. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to, let's try this. Let's try that. Let's try this. Let's change this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's manipulate this. Nothing works. It just keeps getting worse. But Twitter was starting to do well. And then on accident, one of Joe's companies that copyright claims people who steal his content, on accident, dude took down 2 of my videos. It was an accident. They already sent the retraction emails. 2 weeks ago, they sent the retraction emails to put my videos back up. Because I talked to Jamie. Jamie sorted it out. It was an accident. Sometimes these people overreach. They're hitting too many things at once, and they're not paying attention enough to what they're doing. But what that did was it totally killed my fucking reach on X. I noticed it like 3 or 4 days before. Because I think what happens is as soon as they put the DMCA in, your reach gets fucked. But then it takes 3 or 4 days for an actual human to look at it, and then your content will come down. But I noticed 3 or 4 days before the content went down, my reach was shit. Videos go down, my reach has been shit ever since then. And it's been 2 weeks now since the retraction emails were sent, and X has still not restored those fucking those 2 videos, and my reach is still shit on X. So yeah, it's just doing what I do. It's just like only a matter of time before you get fucked. Things go well for a couple months and then something comes in to fuck you, whether it's an algorithmic policy violation, it's an age restriction, or it's just a demonetization, or it's, someone accidentally fucking getting too gung-ho and hitting you with a copyright claim or a DMCA strike. It's just one thing after another, dude. It's really frustrating.
They've built a power plant out there. And they've done it overnight, no air pollution controls, quick and dirty, no permit.
I mean, what you've done with the cluster in Memphis is incredible. Just in a handful of weeks.
Any given thing can be sped up. Yeah. Like whatever speed is being done, it can be done faster.
This is the largest AI cluster in the world. This place is absolutely amazing.
That is like superhuman.
All right. I'm going to have to end it, guys, because I got to go do some fucking grocery shopping before the HEB closes. Appreciate you guys. Maybe we'll pick this one up tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Time, I'm doing a podcast with Ami Kozak. And we're going to dive deep into the Palestine-Israel stuff. So wish me luck. Ami's, he's Jewish, so he's very much on the Israeli side. So I'm a noob when it comes to Israel and Palestine. So I've got a timeline of everything that's happened since October 7th, and we're going to go over that timeline, and I'm going to talk to Ami from his point of view and try to just dive deep into all that shit and try to understand it, So if you're interested in that, show up tomorrow, 1 p.m. Going to be a deep dive into the Palestine-Israel stuff. Should be fun. And like I said, guys, I got to go do some grocery shopping. It's been fun. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the memberships. You guys rock. We'll see you on the next one. If you missed the supercuts, and for some reason they didn't put it in your feed, go to my channel. There's like 3 new supercuts. They're all really good. I think they're some of the best ones I've ever made. The views will make you think that they suck. They don't. They're really fucking good. They're just not getting shared out. So they are on other platforms, just not YouTube. I could take the same video, put it on Instagram, X, it gets, a ton of views. On YouTube, it's like, it's 0 recommendations these days. I literally get like 1,000 to 2,000 recommendations in the first day. All the rest is subscriptions and notifications. Like, it's crazy. All right, guys. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.